Well, good evening, Raider Nation. Welcome to BCTV's Red Raider Broadcasting as we are broadcasting live, but you'll be watching it on demand. There's no secret to that. We were unable to broadcast live this evening. Just some agreement, mutual agreement between both schools for this year and next year, and how we do things at our home events. And I'll leave it at that. But my name is Brent Johnson, along with the head ball coach, Sky Keck. I want to also welcome Katie Cawthorn. She is producing the production for us, the show. I have Ricky Chi is on the camera. I want to thank them for being a part of TSA and the student broadcasting program. I also want to thank specifically our sponsors, Bennett Johnson Insurance, Mr. Daniel Johnson. I want to thank man, my mind just went completely blank. We was talking on the way over here. It's been over a month since I've been on the horn because of off weeks and then other issues that we won't probably won't get into either.
We know all of our listeners and viewers out there are thankful that it's been over a month since you've been on here.
Yeah, I appreciate that plug there. Coley Electric and Plumbing Supply, Family Vision Care. Always want to thank those sponsors and Burt CPA for being a part of what we do, trying to bring to you. We are in Hazelhurst, Georgia, Jeff Davis High School. The first time we've been over here, and we couldn't really figure it out. I think it's been at least 5 years. I've been over here for some soccer matches since then, but hadn't been in this booth broadcasting since then. Renewing an old rivalry, which makes it even better, sweeter tonight because we're in region play as well with the Yellow Jackets. Big game tonight. We were just talking about this is pretty much win and you're potentially in. If you lose, you could be in. There's more likely you won't be in the playoff if you win. So the winner has a good chance of getting in the playoffs tonight.
Yeah, this is a game where both teams, we're sitting at 1-1 in the region. Jeff Davis is 0-2, but depending on how this game goes, it's got huge playoff implications for both teams in the long run. With the region schedule, I mean, we're at the midway point through the season, a little further here now, being how this is our seventh game.
Yes.
So, we've got 3 left after this. And each one matters. This is almost like the playoffs before the playoffs because, you want to get in and want to secure your spot. This is one of those games that you have to, well, maybe not have to win, but need to win as a team. And, with us, we come in at 4-2, and Jeff Davis comes in also 4-2. So, and these teams on paper are pretty similar. I think, we average around 30 points a game. Jeff Davis averages around 26 points a game. So we'll see how it goes, and, probably the team that makes the less mistakes tonight will win this game.
Slightly, you want to say slightly different styles of offense. I venture to say we run it not quite as many times as they do, but we definitely run it more than we pass it. I think the way we line up to the ball is going to be really different. They're going to have nine offensive linemen or linemen on the line. They got 2 or 3 guys in the backfield. They're going to run it, and that's. I watched some film this afternoon. They got number 16 is going out right there. One of the captains there. He's the quarterback. He's going to tote that rock more than the running backs combined. We got to play disciplined defense, good tackling. I think from a team speed standpoint, I feel like we have the edge. Especially on the defensive side of the ball. So, again, we just got to wrap up and we got to score some points. And it's a big game. Maybe it's a good thing. We were talking on the way over. These guys on our football team, they really don't quite understand this. Lights just went out. Oh, boy. Now everybody's going to want – they don't have the expensive lights flashing at the top, but they got some lights shining on their poles. But what I was saying is a lot of our younger guys – especially underclassmen, and probably these seniors have no idea either what this means between these two schools, Bacon County and Jeff Davis. Mr. Mike Wheeler, I remember him saying one time to me, he said, we want to beat them in everything, marbles, basket weaving, it doesn't matter. And that's what it boils down to. But this is a big game tonight for region standpoint. Our region loss came to Thomasville to a forfeit, to some unforeseen circumstances up until that time, and they lost to their last loss was to Thomasville 31-7, and that ball game was a little closer than that score showed. They scored a couple big plays the last couple parts of the game, last few minutes of the game, and then they lost. I think I would call it an upset. They got upset by Brantley County. I think Brantley had a couple of special teams touchdowns, and that's what it takes to beat a team that's better than you. And so again, they're in a corner, and we're trying to not get in the corner. Is basically what it boils down to.
Well, when I look out across, the stadium, Jeff Davis has a good crowd. We have a good crowd, and like you alluded to, the rivalry where these kids, they haven't had a chance to, really play in this. They don't really know the history between us. But you look at the all-time series, Jeff Davis leads 35-30. I mean, this will be the 66th matchup between these two teams, and I mean, there's history there, between our athletic programs and their athletic programs, and this is really a big deal as both teams here are going to run out onto the field.
Numbers-wise, we got the rosters here, about the same numbers for both teams. Jeff Davis typically has about 150 or 200 more students than we have at Bacon County High School to pull from. But, yeah, we're fixing to get this thing started. Sky, I was talking. Did you see the coin toss or maybe who's going to receive? We'll know here in just a moment when they take the field. Who's going to receive the opening kickoff? As we were talking earlier, they dimmed the lights. It was kind of neat. You probably saw it on the camera. It kind of got darker. Beautiful sunset over the scoreboard. As we're getting ready, and they mentioned here early, it was free admission. They had some local businesses really step up and donate some money to whoever showed up to this game, got in for free tonight. That's awesome. We've had a lot of turmoil, a lot of stuff going on in both of our communities and surrounding communities these last few weeks as we have been going through the aftermath of Hurricane Helene. And we want to send our prayers and thoughts to the folks that are suffering down in Florida, specifically from Milton, who just went through a couple days ago. But there's still families in North Carolina that are suffering. We just need to remember these people as we try to get, I said earlier on a Facebook post, just get a little bit of a normalcy kind of back on the Friday night lights. And your Raiders are going to kick to Jeff Davis.
That's going to be number 19, Isaiah Thomas, here to kick it off. Good high kick. It's going to be received down near the 10. String him out there around the 20-yard line. That's where Jeff Davis has set up shop to open up this game.
I think it's a fumble. I know it looked a little odd how the guys were kind of looking at the ball. Nobody went really crazy, but White Hat has given it to the Red Raiders. It's a huge break for us here as we'll get the ball on the 20-yard line.
Yeah, that was one of the most nonchalant fumble recoveries and celebrations that I may have ever seen there.
Raiders need to take advantage of this situation, especially, again, at their home field. This would have been their homecoming night. I think they postponed it, due to the circumstances in the community.
We're going to come out two receivers down here to the bottom. Knox is quarterback. Keandre Dixon's next to him in the backfield. Snap to Knox, hand off Keandre. Goes right side. He's going to get brought down there quick. Maybe got back to the line. Might have got a yard out of that.
We're going to see a heavy dose of number 4 tonight. I would think, if you're not familiar with this young man, he is a freshman. He has roughly 600 yards rushing on the season, 8 touchdowns. They may have those stats on that sheet right there. I'm just off the top of my head. But he's got a lot of talent, this Dixon kid.
Yeah, same formation. Just Moopy's going to go in motion. He'll get it and try to get the edge. Good play there on the edge by number 5 for Jeff Davis, bringing Moopy down for a loss.
I said earlier, I felt like we had an edge in team speed, but we just saw a lot of that speed right there from their defensive back right there. Both teams I know this Jeff Davis team is going to be fired up. We will be a little bit more comfortable throwing the ball tonight than Jeff Davis. That's what we want to put them in an offensive position to throw.
Snap to Knox, hand off Kendrick up the middle. He's got a hole. Not quite to the first down mark. He'll be about 2 yards short.
You got to think the Raiders may go for it here. That's a good play call. A little delayed handoff there up the middle.
Well, we're definitely in field goal range. They want to try that. Isaiah Thomas has definitely shown that capability.
I don't know. I'm good with this. If we don't get it, they're pinning them deep. If we do, we may try to draw them off sides here.
Yeah, I think we're seeing if we can get them to jump right now. We do have 2 receivers down here to the bottom.
12.
Kendrick again in the backfield. Handoff. There was just nothing there. Jeff Davis won the line of scrimmage there on that play.
And they'll take over on downs. Big stop for them. A little bit more emotional on that turnover than they were the first on the fumbled kickoff. Raiders unable to take advantage. And, again, I don't have a problem this early in the game of trying to go for it there with this opportunity as long as we can keep them from driving the field and scoring a touchdown.
Yeah, that's one of them you would love to score on, though. Ride that emotional high to start the game. Got a flag. We're going to get called for offsides.
Yeah, we were a little too aggressive there. Our linebackers coming up. We're going to see this as you're watching almost every play. You're going to see 10 of their players come out of the huddle. The snapper will come up early, and then the other 10 are going to shoot up that line of scrimmage, which can be distracting to, our defensive guys. They just got to be prepared for that. Sure, surely they've seen it on film all week or the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, Jeff Davis, they get set and snap the ball. There's a
Fumble
on
again.
That play.
And the Raiders recover. We see, the white hat. We got to take – man, you only get so many of these opportunities. Is that a flag?
Yeah, there is a flag. It came in after the play, though.
I'd like to see the Red Raiders come out passing this first down. We're going to see who it's on. It's a flag like that, unfortunately, it's likely a personal foul. Let's just see who it's going to be against. I'm not sure exactly what. I don't know what that means, I'll be honest with you, from the ref. But it's going to be against Jeff Davis. Looks like half the distance to the goal. So it's going to put the Raiders inside the 10-yard line. They're going to mark it at about the 8-yard line. About the 10-yard line.
All right, well, here's a second chance for us.
I tell you.
Gonna go snap the Knox, hand off there. That's Travion. He'll try the middle, and there's not much there. So far, Jeff Davis has seemed pretty stout there between the tackles.
Well, they got some good size up front. And again, it's hard to get. We've got 8 down linemen as well, matching up against theirs. They got 8 in the box. Like to see a pull out here, maybe a tight end be wide open over the middle.
I think Jeff Davis kind of baited us into that false start there as they had a running back run up to the line.
Well, we're going to have to be a little more disciplined than this. All we've done is lost yardage these first 2 opportunities we've had.
Or not a running back for Jeff Davis, linebacker.
Yeah. We haven't played ball in 2 weeks and 2 days, so there's bound to be a little bit of rust. The kids were, with the power outages, kids were not required to be at practices. There were some kids that just couldn't be there, so it was up until these last couple of days, really, they've only had a full team to prepare.
Snap Knox, handoff Keandrick again. There's just nothing going right now.
You got a feeling that, of course, we got one more down here, but you got a feeling we'll probably try to get 3 points out of this drive, unless it's just inches. But, again, I would like to see Knox pull it here, and let's have a pass play.
Two receivers up top. Knox is looking to throw.
He's
Back
got
in the
it.
end zone. Aiden Cothran.
Touchdown, Red Raiders. That's a good call, Coach Matt Wilson. It's going to be 6-0. Your Red Raiders lead early, 7 minutes and 59 seconds on the clock.
There is a flag after the play. Maybe on a celebration or something that was said.
Here's the call from the white hat.
Unsportsmanlike on the Raiders.
Probably assessed on the kickoff. Raiders have a chance here to go up 7-0. Just under 8 minutes here in the first quarter.
That's what you wanted to see there after not cashing in on that first fumble. You didn't want to come up empty-handed 2 possessions in a row. Good snap, good hold, good kick there by Isaiah.
7-0. Your Raiders lead. And Isaiah has not missed an extra point attempt. He didn't get to kick it one because of a poor snap, but he's been perfect on the season. We're going to take a quick break here in between kickoffs, and we'll be back on the NFHS Network powered by Play on Sports in just a moment.
And we're back. Isaiah's going to kick this one off. 7:59 to go here in the first quarter. Your Red Raiders are up 7-0. Good high kick there by Isaiah. It won't quite be near the end zone due to the penalty there after the touchdown that made us lose 15 yards.
Well, that's one thing. Maybe we see a little bit of emotion on both sides of the ball here. Maybe they do have an idea. Maybe the coaches explain to them, what's on the line here. Some not just, region, not just a win. It's about pride for your schools. As again, historically, I was telling my classes today that this is a huge rivalry in all sports, not just football.
Yeah, JD's going to come out. 2 receivers. Handoff number 5. Nope. Quarterback kept it.
And they're deceptive there. Again, the quarterback in that Thomas County game or Thomasville game, he ran the ball as many times as the other run backs combined. Real tough kid, tall kid.
Yeah, he's got more of a tall, somewhat lanky build.
He reminds me of a kid we watched in the playoffs over in Pierce County from Covington, Georgia. He was actually the leading rusher in the state that year. Pierce actually beat them that night, but, man, he was just wiry.
Snap. 34 is going to get it, come off the left tackle there. He'll get out near a first down, not quite to the marker.
This type of offense where it's a option / veer wing tee. I'm not sure exactly how you describe it. More of a veer, definitely option. You've got to, each linebacker has an assignment, and they've got to stay with that particular person just in case they get it.
Overall, as a defense, playing this type of offense, the offense is probably going to get into quite a few third and short situations. So as a defense, you're going to have to be able to win plenty of those over the course of this ball game to be successful. 34 is going to get it there. Right.
That's a
Side. There's a flag.
Probably a hold there. unless we got a face mask. But that's what you don't want is those 6 and 7 yard chunks. 2 or 3 yards in a cloud of dust is one thing. One good thing about this style of offense is I like it. It takes time off the clock. We're already at 6:21 on the clock, and halfway through this quarter.
Chop block on Jeff Davis there,
and that's dangerous.
But yeah, this offense, they want to stay ahead of the sticks. They don't want to get behind the sticks like they're about to be right here. I mean, that 3rd and 1 they just had, that's about where they want to be.
So it's going to be 3rd. That's a 15-yard penalty, I believe. Good crowd here tonight from Bacon County. I suspected that would happen. Hopefully it had something to do with us not being able to be live tonight. A few extra folks showed up. Typically it doesn't detour. I've talked to people about that in other schools. Our live broadcast typically doesn't detour the folks that's going to come. It's the ones that typically wouldn't make a trip to an away game or even a home game. They just enjoy staying at home and wouldn't get out otherwise, and it gives them an opportunity to see our Red Raiders play in all sports. And we'll talk about some of our other fall sports, specifically softball, here shortly. So it's going to be 3rd and long.
About 3rd and 16 here for JD. They're going to roll the quarterback out to the right, look to pass. You got Chandler Chancey pressuring him there. He throws one up near the sideline.
It's going to be out of bounds. It's going to be a punting situation for the Jeff Davis Yellow Jackets. This is exactly how the Red Raiders wanted this game to start. For a team that is not comfortable. We said earlier, Sky may be right. They may actually throw the ball a few more times a game than we do, but the success that they have shown has not been good. They want to ground and pound you.
Also, I said earlier, the team that makes fewer mistakes come out and win this game. So far, you've got 2 fumbles by Jeff Davis, a huge flag there to set them back after they had picked up a 1st down. Quarterback's going to roll and punt out there to the right. Santiago's just going to let it bounce. So far we got 5 minutes, 38 seconds to go here in the 1st quarter. Your Red Raiders are up 7-0. And so far the story's been we've made fewer mistakes. We cashed in on one of them, and we'll see what our offense can do here with a long field instead of the short fields they've been given so far.
Yeah, I'd like to see about a 4 or 5 minute drive here and another touchdown or 3 points, or just a couple 1st downs at worst case scenario. .538. Oh, great move there by number 4. Stays on his feet.
There's a flag on that play.
Is that a helmet targeting? Helmet to helmet something there? I don't know. You don't hardly ever see that called in high school football. Maybe it was a hold. Yeah. On the Raiders. Wow. Okay. I don't know where that was, but that's going to take the Raiders back inside the 10-yard line. Again, not the play you want to have.
Yep, Raiders come out here. 2 receivers up top. Knox is back there to take the snap. He's got Keandrick to his left. We gave it to Keandrick. Moopy was in motion. Keandrick handed it to Moopy, and he gets brought down about 3 yards behind the line.
4 keeps that. He's still running down the sideline, I think. He might have had to shake and bait one guy. It's almost like they were in the huddle on that call. 4:51 on the clock. It's going to be 2nd and 15.
Now we've got 3 receivers. We've got trips up top.
We can give Knox a little protection here. Maybe he can make something happen.
He's looking to throw. He's looking left. He's going to roll
Got
left.
to get rid of it.
Just nothing there, and he'll get sacked inside the 5.
Got to throw that ball away. Got a towel or a flag down? Looks like a towel. It's going to be 3rd down now and a long ways, 25-ish, 24-ish.
Yeah, 3rd and very long for your Red Raiders. 2 receivers up top. Aiden's going to come in motion, come down here to the near side, give to Kendrick up the middle. He breaks the tackle.
And he gives us some air to breathe here. Give us room to punt, not outside of our end zone. Jeff Davis is going to get pretty good field position, you'd have to think, unless we get a tremendous punt with a good bounce. I want to thank again our title sponsor for this year's football season, and that's Bennett & Johnson Insurance, Mr. Daniel Johnson. They've been with us for a decade.
Low punt there by Isaiah, but we're going to get a good roll and bounce out of it. And wow.
Yeah, that was – I'm pretty sure the coach is going to have a little conversation with that young man. As we had 3 Raiders right around that ball. He just snatches it. They're going to take over on the 50. Right on the 50. 1st and 10 with 2:54 remaining here in this first quarter.
And you see, so far our D-line has been prepared for the snap as our D-linemen are getting out there, getting on the knee quick, ready to be set, anticipating the snap. Quarterback gets it, taking it himself up the middle there. That's Chandler Chansey on the tackle.
About a 2.5-yard gain there, so maybe 3 they give him.
There's a flag on that play. I'm not sure how many plays we've had so far without a flag.
That's got to be on the offense. Probably another chop block. Yep, another chop. Well, when this style of running offense, that's what you get. A lot of these linemen just dive one way or another. And if they go into the side of a player, of his legs, below the waist, they're going to call that. And that's just to keep the guys safe. That's almost as bad as targeting because you can tear a knee up really easily, Georgia Tech.
Yeah, 1st and 25 here for the Yellow Jackets from their own 35. Little handoff there to number 2. Receiver came in motion. He was able to get up to the 40. So he actually up to 39, so he got 4 yards out of that play. It'll be 2nd and 21 for JD.
Just got to contain here. No big play. Funnel cake smells good.
5 goes in motion there off the right side. 16 is looking to throw. He's rolling right. Akey Brown's pressuring him. He throws one up there again to the sideline. It's out of bounds.
It's good pursuit by Akey Brown. going to be 3rd and 21. This is exactly the situation you want to put a team like this in. We just got to play disciplined here. Again, they haven't shown a lot of success in the couple passes they've attempted. They do have a couple quick backs. The quarterback is not going to – I don't think he's going to run at 21 yards without someone running him down. But the little scat back might be able to. So we got to square them up and tackle.
Yep, quarterback's going to look to throw. Screen pass there. 10's got it, but Jeremiah Williams is going to be there to bring him down. That's going to be about a gain of only 2.
What a great play there by Williams. They stood him up, and then some other Raiders came in there to help him. Whenever you see that many of the defensive guys able to just shoot through the line like that, everybody on the sideline for us should have been hollering screen, because that's what's going to happen. We're going to see another punt here. Now, notice that the quarterback, I saw him, he did a lot of pooch kicks against the Thomasville team, which gives him an opportunity. He's in a little shorter stance there for a potential fake or pass. But from this distance, you got to think he's going to punt it away, and he does.
Yeah, good kick there. It's going to be over Santiago's head. It's rolling inside the 5. It's going to get down.
Yeah, that's just a great play there. And Santiago couldn't do anything about that.
Right at the 1 yard line.
So with 46.6 seconds left on the clock here for the first period, it's 7-0. Your Raiders still lead. Going to be a cool night tonight. Kickoff was about 68 degrees. It's supposed to get down to about 64, 63. The rest of the evening, 40-something in the morning. So this is definitely feels like some fallish football weather.
We got called for an unsportsmanlike there, so instead of starting at the 2-inch line, we'll start at the 1-inch line, since that's a half the distance to the goal penalty. Snap to Knox, handoff there, middle.
He's going to get it out to about the 2-yard line.
Yeah, it had to be a good second effort there on that play, as again, there was just nothing going up the middle there. Jeff Davis's D-line has played well between the tackles so far in this game.
If we have the courage to do this, a pass play right here would probably could potentially work. Something up the middle. I don't know, we got a safety in the middle there, but they're anticipating us running it for sure.
Yeah, their entire defense is within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage there. And they've got 9 guys in the box.
And that's going to end the first quarter. Your Raiders lead 7-0. We're going to take a break here on the NFHS Network, powered by Play On Sports. Sky Keck, thank you for joining us this evening. We'll be right back.
All right, we're back here to start the second quarter. It is 2nd and 9 for your Raiders from the 1.5 yard line here. Their own 1.5 yard line.
We got a little better view on this end of the field.
We got Travion to the left of Knox. We've got Aiden Cawthorn down here near side. He's the lone receiver. Aiden's going to go in motion. He'll go top side. Snap to Knox. Flag on the play, as there has been nearly every play so far. False start against the Raiders. This has been quite the sloppy start here for both teams, honestly.
Yeah, from a procedural standpoint, execution for us on a few plays, and then obviously they've had 2 turnovers already. They put it on the dirt, and then, a couple punts. You see this too often where you don't take advantage of as many opportunities as possible. I'm not sure if this referee and crew has got it all together either.
All right. Knox has Travion to his left. Aiden again, lone receiver down here at the bottom near side. Snap to Knox, hand off Travion.
Here he goes. Wow. I was just about to complain about how he just shuffles sometimes a little too much, and when you only have 6 inches there to shuffle, but he broke a tackle, and next thing you know, he's got a first down.
Yeah, honestly, I thought he was going to get stopped behind the line there for possibly a safety, but he found some little sliver of light and got through there.
Wow. We'll take it. Let's go Raiders.
Again, Travion to Knox's left. We've got Isaiah Thomas down here near side. Aiden Cawthorn's up top. Hand off Travion. This time he'll be wrapped up in the backfield.
Yeah, that's what I thought was about to happen a while ago. If we're going to have any chance we're going to have to really spread them out, which we've had 2 wideouts and a split there because they are man in the box. They're about 10 yards off the line of scrimmage on our receivers. Maybe a quick out with that one-on-one, because that's basically what it is.
Said Moopy's going to get it here. He'll have enough for a first down.
As he cuts it back in. A lot of quickness with that young man. Not a very big guy. You don't have to be big to be successful at this particular level or any level far as that goes if you got that kind of speed and quickness. And then you got some speed with number 1. We've seen the speed and power of number 4, who's I hope he's not hurt or anything, but he hasn't been on the field in this particular offensive series.
Snap to Knox, hand off Travion right side. He's going to try to bounce it outside. He's got the edge. He'll get about 5 out of the play.
Yeah, that's a positive yardage there. Going wide. It's going to be 2nd down and about 5. Is there a flag on the field? Sideline warning. Bacon County. That's just a warning. Second and 5, you got a lot you can do here. If you want to get a little creative.
Got Aiden Cawthorn down here near side. Isaiah Thomas up top side. Travion again, and Knox led. Moopy comes in motion. Fake the Moopy. Knox looking downfield. He's got Aiden Cawthorn. Big play there.
40-yard pass completion to Aiden. If he hits him in stride, he may have a touchdown, but, that's near nor here nor there. I was actually afraid the ball was going to hang up just enough for the other corner on the other side to come over and make a play. But nonetheless, your Raiders are in business as they have flipped the field in 2 plays. 1st and 10 from the 30.
Keandrick will come in. Travion subs out.
We're going to get blew the whistle almost like it was going to be a timeout, but I'm not sure what. They're having to respot the ball. Taking a little bit away from our momentum. Okay, they're respotting the ball now to about the 31. .953 and counting. Man, if the Raiders could get another 7 on the board here before halftime.
Nine minutes, 37 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Snap to Knox, handoff. Keandre will try the middle, and again, there's just nothing there. JD has had some stout run defense.
They got a couple big guys up front there. They don't play around. It's the 2 tackles or guards. But again, that's just some of that is sometimes just keeping them honest. Set them up for another type of offensive play, or you pop one like number 1 did down at the goal line a while ago. Because that's a risk you take when you have 9 in the box. When you get to that second level, there's nobody there to make a tackle.
False start on the Raiders. So after that big play, we've gone backwards here twice in a row. Again, this is a drive that started on our own 1-yard line.
Inside the 1, to be honest. But, yeah, we're talking 99.5 yards if we could score. Getting field goal range, 10 would look good on the board too, a double-digit lead. Got to get need another first down or so to get in range. Well, we're going to get a timeout here by the Red Raiders. That'll be the first for either team with 8:25. We're going to timeout as well on the NFHS Network powered by Play on Sports. Be back in just a moment.
You ready to meet the latest addition to the family? The money you saved us with auto owners helped make it all possible. It really is the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Excuse me?
Third best thing. Third best thing.
Auto Owners offers discounts for life, home, car, and business insurance because they think the more you protect, the more you should save. That's simple.
Go ahead.
Aiden Cothran goes in motion. Oh, we dropped the snap. Knox will just fall on it. So after that big play, we've gone backwards now. 3 plays in a row. Kind of hurt ourselves there.
Yeah, after a timeout, you would hope to be able to execute just a little bit better than that. It's just frustrating. I mean, the coaches can't go out there and run the plays for the kids, but it's definitely frustrating.
We'll have 2 receivers down here to the bottom. We've got 3rd and 22 from the JD 43. Moopy's in motion, hand to him. Little reverse to Aiden. JD's going to string this out, though, for another loss on that play.
We're going to leave it up to number 19 to Thomas to punt them deep, hopefully, with 7:41 here. Not a very good series there for the Raiders, and it was our own fault. It wasn't like, and it's really not like Jeff Davis has played great defense tonight. Again, both teams have kind of hurt themselves on offense.
Well, you've got two teams who their offensive, schemes are they don't want to get behind the sticks, and so far tonight we've seen both teams consistently penalize themselves and get themselves in those situations that they don't want to be in. And we've got a false start there on the punt.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I mean, you just got to watch the ball. Now their defensive guy, I didn't think they could clap their hands and stuff behind the line of scrimmage like I think I saw one of their guys do, but you got to be a little bit more disciplined than that.
False start against Bacon. Penalty moves the ball back across midfield to the 47-yard line. It remains 4th down.
7:41. Oh, and that's got to be roughing the passer. That's going to be first down. They were coming after it, and which is a little strange because they were going to get – that's going to be first down, Red Raiders. That's not a running into the kicker. That is a what do you call it? Roughing the kicker. So unless I'm wrong, that ball was – I don't think the ball was tipped. Yeah, that's got to be a first down. What?
I believe they are calling that ball tipped.
Wow.
I know I seen the white hat make a motion there with his hands. I believe that was the call.
It had to be. That's the only reason we would be on defense. We didn't see it. Now, obviously, he had to have heard it, and that's possible as well. Nonetheless, again, the Raiders are just killing themselves. At least we did on that particular drive.
Quarterback taking himself there off the left side.
Good crowd here from Jeff Davis. We are on the home side. Stands are nearly full. If you get a shot of the visitor side over there, the stands over there are almost full as well. Of course, a quarter of the stands are taken up by our band. That's the empty part there. About 115 strong. Our band is supposed to take the field and play a number or two. They're not going to be marching because they haven't been at school either to practice a whole bunch.
Hand off there up the middle for JD. There's a flag thrown on that play.
Got to be another chop or a hold in that situation where the flag is thrown. At this point, the Raiders are just want to hold on here, keep them from making a long drive and scoring here right before half, giving them a little bit of momentum, even though the Raiders will receive the opening kickoff of the second half.
Got a hold against Jeff Davis.
Hey, we had one of their coaches in the booth here with us. He's going upstairs, I think maybe so he can use some ugly words. We were setting the camera up, and I don't mean to throw anybody under the bus. It was just funny. There's a young man up there running the camera crew for the local broadcast here, and he was like, "You don't do audio through your camera, do you?" I'm like, "No, we don't, actually." He said, "Well, good, because you'll get our coaches cussing." Honesty of kids,
JD fakes a handoff there to the receiver that's in motion. The quarterback could get upended there.
Yeah, I've got to be careful. The last guy coming in there, you got to be careful. They'll call a late hit like that. It was close, him being close to the ground that way, being the, of course, quarterback, when he gets past the line of scrimmage, he's a runner just like anyone else. But I just hate for just an aggressive play to extend a drive. It's third and a long 5. Good opportunity here for the Raiders if they could get a stop here. Get the ball back one more time, at least.
Snap to the quarterback. They'll have a guy in motion. He's rolling out, looking down here near side. He's got a guy. He drops the pass.
Again, they just don't look real comfortable. It was a good pass from the quarterback. That's the best ball he's thrown all night. The number 5 just had a hard time getting back around and getting into a position to catch the ball. But it was a good throw. He was wide open. But it should place. And again, another flag.
Well, they're talking to our head coach.
You got to, if you want to push them back, you got to think at some point. Okay, it's going to be 4th and 5, that long 5. At some point in this game, that quarterback is not going to pooch punt it or punt it. He's going to take off with it or throw it. This could be one of those situations. I don't know, maybe not this far back in their side of the field. But now the Raiders have an opportunity to have some decent field position with 5:20 left on the clock.
Yeah, and the flag there was an ineligible man downfield for JD, but we declined it. Took the result of the play. Which brings us to 4th and 5. JD's going to punt. It's a high punt there.
We need to get out of the way.
It's going to get caught right in the middle of the field there by Mike Dixon on the bounce.
That's dangerous too. Yeah, I think maybe was Thomas the deep man? Santiago, I'm sorry. He's got to maybe do a little better job there of telling his guys to get out of the way because they're running down. They don't know exactly where it's at. I get that. But he's got to do a better job of saying, I won't forget the name. Is it Peter? To get out of the way. That could have been a disaster. Raiders take over, 1st and 10 on the 48-yard line.
We got Isaiah Thomas down here near side, Aiden Cothran up top. Keandrick's in the backfield to Knox's left. Been our common formation tonight. Handoff Keandrick there. And again, there's just not much doing between the tackles. We've been able to pop a couple, but other than that, JD's been pretty respectable against the run so far.
I will say this. The majority of the big runs that number 4 has had, it started between the tackles, and he's cut it back. He gets past the line of scrimmage and cuts back one way or the other, but he just can't get past that line of scrimmage tonight.
Four minutes, 35 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Snap the Knox, handoff Moopy near side. There's a flag on the play already. Moopy slips that first tackle, but he's brought down for about a 3-yard gain.
That was a awfully quick. It's got to be on the defense if they don't blow a false start.
Illegal shift on your Raiders.
Okay. So the receiver moved a little too early when he went back toward the line of scrimmage. And as the wing man was coming around, I think that's probably what happened. So another execution issue for the Raiders. They're killing themselves here. It's going to be 2nd and about 15, 16.
I think it's safe to say there's been more penalty yards than offensive yards in this game by both teams tonight.
Yeah, if you combine them, for sure. Be a good time to pass the ball right here.
Aiden goes in motion there, top side. JD's got that strung out, big hit.
Yeah, by one of their smaller players. He come up and got it done, no doubt. What number is he? 20. He's turned a little bit more. 25. We'll give that boy. Let's call that boy's name out there. Sampson. Just a sophomore.
There's a 22 on the field.
22.
22 is Ian Griffin.
Griffin.
We've got 3 receivers down here to the bottom. Keandre is going to be the Knox's left on 3rd and 19 from the Raiders 39 with 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the second quarter. Snap to Knox. He's looking left. He's pressured there right off the bat. It's going to be a sack for Jeff Davis.
Well, they were. I was actually almost anticipating another delayed handoff there. They were bringing the house, anticipating a throw there. It's going to be 3:14 on the clock, and Jeff Davis is, they're going to be in a little better field position than they were when they punted the ball earlier, most likely. And I'm telling you, I don't want to speak it into existence, but special teams wins and loses a lot of close ball games, and we just don't want to hiccup here.
Well, there's 3 phases of the game: offense, defense, and special teams, and they all matter. Special teams might get overlooked sometimes, but special teams can sway ball games in a hurry.
Looks like we've got I don't know if it's an official's timeout here, or maybe did Jeff Davis call a timeout? I see here.
Jeff Davis called
okay,
the timeout.
we're going to take another quick timeout here as well and honor some sponsors. We'll be back here in just a moment.
You ready to meet the latest addition to the family? The money you saved us with auto owners helped make it all possible. It really is the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Excuse me?
Third best thing.
Third best thing.
Auto Owners offers discounts for life, home, car, and business insurance because they think the more you protect, the more you should save. That's simple human sense.
Isaiah Thomas gets the snap. He'll get the punt off. It's a little short, though. Good roll. That'll get out around the JD 40.
I don't have a problem with that. You punt it away, whether he deliberately did it or not. We punted it away from receiver. Don't give him an opportunity to break one. Trying to get a couple scores here. Another big region game matchup tonight is Thomasville at Fitzgerald. It is 14-0. Thomasville over Fitzgerald. That's really no surprise after Thomasville's got some cats that can go, and maybe Fitzgerald isn't quite up to par with their normal standard. Worth County gave them all they wanted, and then Worth upset Thomasville last week.
JD's quarterback's going to take it himself there off the right side. Tackled by Chandler Chancey on the play.
Very patient young man. Doesn't seem panicked at all running that offense. That's number 16. That's Colby Beach. Very patient there, trying to wait for something to open up. And again, got about 4.5, 5 yards, almost 6 yards on the carry. Got 2 minutes and 37 seconds. That's important. If we can keep them out of the end zone. Here he comes again. Another big push by their offensive line.
It's going to be about a gain of 10 on that play. So Jeff Davis.
They just manning up here.
Bacon County territory here. 2 minutes, 23 seconds on the clock.
Did a referee get tied up in that, or he just down there helping them untie each other?
JD's been able to get a little push here on those last 2 plays.
Yeah, they putting everybody there on the line of scrimmage and knowing the quarterback's going to run it. So you got 10 guys there that are just pushing. this is the style of offense that they want to utilize.
Again, snaps to the quarterback, takes it right side, third time in a row. And again, decent little run there for him. He's down inside the 30.
They found something on this right side. Of course, they're loading it up. You know, they got two halfbacks, I guess you would say, on that side running lead for the quarterback, as well as a running back who's standing beside the quarterback. So he's got 3 lead blockers, and then you count the other 3 linemen on that side of the ball, plus possibly a tight end there I didn't see.
Snaps to quarterback, who'll hand it off this time there. Minimal gain. Maybe got a yard out of that.
Both teams with 2 timeouts. I'm not sure what type of kicking game. We wasn't here early enough to see the warm-up that Jeff Davis has. They did kick the extra point. A lot of times if teams without a kicking game will go for 2. There's a big tackle there for the Red Raiders. It's going to bring up 3rd and about 7. Might be 3rd and still 8 if he just got back to the line of scrimmage. 1 minute and 8 seconds.
The kicker for Jeff Davis is 8 for 8 this year with a long of 41.
Well, they got a leg then. So they're almost in field goal range. Let's just hope this penalty is not against the Red Raiders. To give them something easy here with 1 minute and 8 to go. Long deliberation. Personal foul. Jeff Davis.
And a player just got ejected.
That's interesting. Number 6, well, yeah, number 64. I'll give a number, but a lineman. So I'm not. I don't know if what the rules state is. Do they have to leave? Don't they have to leave the field? It doesn't really matter. But I'm more curious as to. I wonder if he did something. He about had to have done something. He doesn't think he did anything, but he about had to have done something on the ground. I'm not going to speculate. All we know is they have personal foul on Jeff Davis. Going to be 2nd down and 23, and they had a young man that looks like it's going to be ejected from the game for some unknown reason. Raiders need to take the opportunity here, and they do in the backfield. What
Chandler Chancey.
Woo! He just comes. He blitzed right up the middle, got between. You know, Chandler's not a big kid, but he is aggressive. Gets in the backfield and takes the quarterback down. It's going to be 3rd and really long. Clock's going to continue to run. No timeouts. I think it's probably pretty smart for the Raiders maybe to let that thing run on down. And Jeff Davis may let it run down and maybe take a timeout for one last play. What you think, Sky?
Well, JD's, they had a spark going on this drive. And that big penalty there set them back. They look contempt here, just let the clock run down, take it to the half. Of course, This is only a 1-possession game.
And we're going to go to the half. Your Red Raiders are going to lead 7-0 here in Jeff Davis. Been several years since we've been here. Coaches are not happy. And if we ain't careful, if the Jeff Davis coaches aren't careful, some of them may not be coming back out for the second half. I know they're upset, not sure exactly, trying to get an explanation of what exactly happened to that situation because we don't know. And, again, I'm not even going to speculate anymore. I just know the Raiders are leading 7-0 off of some early mistakes by Jeff Davis and lots of lack of execution by your Red Raiders. We're just trying to hang in there, and maybe see this thing through, Sky.
So far here in this first half, I mean, it's been a lot of penalties, a couple big plays, and lack of execution on a lot of plays is what it looks like. And we'll see. You know, the second half is going to be big with it being a one-score game.
Well, we're going to take it to half. We'll come back a few minutes earlier. The Raider Regiment is about to take the field. They're not going to march. They are going to line up and play a couple songs. We're going to bring that to you live here as well, live on demand, I guess is what I would call it. But again, I want to thank you for joining us here. We'll be back with probably about 5 minutes to go in halftime, get a little recap and a preview and catch up on some scores from around the region.
Those folks are, if you see out in those buckets, up and down the road, and your power is back on, or your power is not really back on. So these folks all have a hand in trying to get us back to some degree of normalcy. And to every one of these, ladies and gentlemen on the field, thank you from the very bottom of our hearts. Most of us have no any idea that this would be the magnitude that has become and is still being experienced by many people in our community. Quite a few of you out there still do not have power, but these folks are working very hard to get your lights back on, to keep you safe and protected, to keep you protected from fire. And folks, thank you. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And now, entering the field, the Macon County Raider Regiment. The Raider Regiment are under the direction of Dr. Will Garrett, and he is assisted by Miss Renee Garman. The Raider Regiment will present a portion of their 2024 show titled Road Trip, featuring songs Party in the USA, Sweet Home Alabama, Midnight Train to Georgia, and Route 66. The band's major sponsors include First Franklin Financial, Clean Air and Electric, and the Lube Traveler. The drum majors, Morena Gonzalez and Allison Kinney. Is your band ready? Raider Regiment, you may now begin your performance.
Dairy Queen of Hazelhurst, Stone's Machine Shop, Parish Construction Group, and Bank of Hazelhurst. Tonight, we present our 2024 production of our halftime show, Wanted. Musical selections include The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, Seven Bridges Road, music from the motion picture The Cowboys, and Bon Jovi's Wanted, Dead or Alive. Ladies and gentlemen, the pride of the Pinelands. Ladies and gentlemen, the Pride of Highland.
All right, we're back. Raider Nation. Halftime is about 3 minutes from being over. They're going to reset the clock as it's run out. Usually the bands just got finished. They'll add 3 minutes to the clock. We'll run that out, and we'll be kicking it off here for the third quarter. Your Raiders will receive, but quick recap of the first half, if you were with us. A little bit of sloppy play by both teams, and it's kind of to be expected. I don't want to make it too much of an excuse, but it is. Lots going on the last 2 weeks in all of these young men's lives and our lives. We hadn't even talked about, how it's affected us at Bacon County High School and our students and our communities. But it has played a huge role in the potential execution of tonight's game. I mentioned one of the first things I said is kind of gives us a little sense of normalcy being under Friday Night Lights after everything that's going on. There's many in this community where we're at right now that still don't have power. Bacon County is in much better position than we were the first of the week. I was without power for 8 days. I think Sky, about 5 or 6 days, and he was
actually a week.
Yeah, 7 days, and he was in town. That was so it didn't matter if he was in town or in the country like me. I know my buddy's dad just got power this morning, which was 15 days without power, running generators, trying to keep freezers running, meat from spoiling, and that kind of stuff. It's just different. It makes you really, really appreciate the little things in life. I know one thing that we noticed that you could see, with all the lights out, you could see the sky. You could appreciate the stars in the sky. I know last night we saw tons of pictures. My wife was out. I know the lights were back on, but we were able to see the northern lights from the North Pole. Was pretty cool, which happened one other time earlier in the year. But as far as this football game tonight, maybe both teams will make some adjustments, clean a few things up, and we'll just see a little bit better executed game by both teams. I don't have a problem with that. It's a huge rival game that we're renewing during this football season, and we'll continue this during the basketball season because of the new region, into baseball, track, everything else. So it's been fun being here tonight back in this booth. But what do you think are the keys for Bacon County to come out here and get this victory?
Well, obviously they can't set themselves back on offense. They don't want to be behind the chains. Got to cut down on some of the penalties, the little execution errors. And defensively, we sat here and shut them out in the first half. Jeff Davis, they hurt themselves with some penalties, but we, for the most part, we kind of limited them in terms of big plays there. They had a couple about 10-yard runs towards the end of the half. But as far as we just got to take care of business, we're up on the scoreboard. We need to make, less mistakes than they do here in the second half, and we should come out of here with the result that we want.
We get the ball first. We'd like to see us go down the field and put some points on the board. That could be enough. Defense has played well when they have executed without penalties and turnovers. Jeff Davis, they average about 26 points a game, but again, it's ground and pound, like 5, 6, 7 yards, and they pop one for 15 or 20. But that's what we got to do. We just got to clean some things up. And maybe it starts right here with a big special teams play on this kickoff.
First time that JD's actually kicked off in this game.
Wow.
Yeah, good high kick there down to around the 5. Keandre's going to catch it. JD had it covered. He slips 3 tackles there. Flag on the end of that play. So that flag will officially pick right back up where we left off in the first half.
It's hard to tell who it's going to be called on. Did I see some of the Raiders pointing back the other way? I hope so. But typically it's a penalty on the receiving team, blocking the back or something of that nature. Personal foul. It's going to be half the distance. Illegal block in the back. Okay. Well, we drove the field from inside the one before. Maybe we can do it again. But like Sky said, we kind of started off like we ended the first half, but 1st and 10 Raiders.
Yep, and 2 receivers down here to the bottom. Travion to start the half to Knox's left in the backfield. And off Travion, he'll go right side, get through the hole. He'll get out to around the first down marker, but again, there is a flag on that play also.
It's in a holding area.
Flag on the play. Holding against Bacon. And will be half the distance to the goal line.
And that's not what we wanted here to start our offensive possession.
Well, the only good news about it is it's still first down. 1st and a mile.
Going to go to 2 backs in the backfield now, still with 2 receivers down here to the bottom. Kendrick will knock to the left, Travion on his right, hand off Travion. He'll come here outside the left tackle. He'll get back a few there, about a gain of, we'll see what they officially marking here.
7 yards, I believe.
Moves the ball out to the 14-yard line. Runs out 2nd and 5.
This will be 2nd and 5 for your Raiders. 11 minutes here to go in the 3rd quarter. Hand off Keandrick up the middle.
Spins out. Another spin. Oh, boy. He just looks like he got a first down. Spinning and turning and twisting and pulling, and no flag. And it's going to be a first down for the Red Raiders.
Yeah, he was about one more slip tackle away from maybe
pay dirt.
Housing that one.
.29 on the clock.
2 receivers down here to the bottom. Kendrick get the handoff, go right side, get stood up. About a gain of 2 on the play.
Positive yardage.
Gain of 2. Ball spotted at the 21-yard line. Brings up 2nd and 8.
Perfect weather for some football tonight. Temperature mid-60s.
Snap Knox, hand off Travion. He'll cut it back right side. Nothing going there. He'll lose 1 on the play. Flag, though.
False start.
Signal was a hold on us.
Oh, boy. And this came from the sideline judge. I mean, he is all the way over here. He's 30 yards from the play. Did he call that on the receiver? 9:34, clock runs.
Yeah, we've got 3 receivers down here to the bottom, a 2nd and 20.
Weren't we down here a while ago?
Handoff, Keandrick. He stopped again there in the backfield.
You think out here, this is me, I've never played a down of football, I've admitted it, but when you got 3 receivers, you basically have 2 corners and a safety that's 20 yards away from those 2 receivers. If you could throw out a wide receiver screen there, you got the numbers because they've got the middle packed. Same thing here. We got three to the top. You got just 3 guys, really 2, because that safety, he's covering over the top for that run. Third and 22.
Snap to Nas. He is looking left. Throw it out to Moopy. It's off his hand.
But there was not a screen set up there. It was just an out pass. He overthrew him. It's going to be a punting situation for the Raiders, and Jeff Davis is going to have really good field position here, barring a mistake by them. They're going to have it inside the 40 most likely.
Yeah,
and,
returner setting up at the 50-yard line. Isaiah's got to kick it from his own end zone.
We want to note that they were driving the ball before they made a huge mistake, and a young man got kicked out of the game. I'm not sure. We're still not sure what happened, but.
Oh, and that punt's blocked. Isaiah picks it up. He's going to run it out himself.
Well, that's better than a touchdown, but that's what you run into. That's special teams. We talked about that. You go to the well one too many times, and things like that can happen. That young man just come flying in there. I don't think he was, it was any slower timing. He was just unblocked and made a great play there for Jeff Davis. And they're in business now with the ball on the 11-yard line, 1st and 10.
I said it earlier, special teams can sway the game in a hurry. That's a huge momentum shift towards Jeff Davis right there. High snap. Quarterback can take it there off left side himself. We'll stack him up, though. We do want to point out that the player for JD that got ejected is their center, I believe. And that was a high snap there on that play, so that could factor in.
And he is still on the sideline if it was 64 there. I don't know what I guess the rules are. You don't have to leave. It's a false start, I believe. Offsides. Wow. Again, we got to be a little more disciplined with 7:21 here in the 3rd quarter. Raiders have took that 7-0 lead with about 8 minutes in the 1st quarter. 6 minutes maybe, and I've been sitting on that. 2nd down and 6. They can get a 1st down prior to scoring a touchdown.
Yeah, high snap there. We missed a tackle in the backfield.
Looked like they had multiple people moving in that backfield before the snap. Just slightly. That's what we really need is a penalty here or a tackle for loss. Puts them at 3rd and 2. You got to think that Jeff Davis is not going to be kicking a field goal down here.
Yeah, this is as close as they got to the end zone the entire game. Down by 7 with 6 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. I'm sure they'll want to take advantage of this opportunity.
Yeah, I'd like to see a really high snap here. So I don't think the quarterback's going to take it out of his hands. He's going to try and run it in himself, and he's going to have a first down at the very least.
Yeah, he kind of spun forward there on the tackle. We'll call him down at the 1 yard line.
They'll have 4 chances. You know, again, we need a penalty here or a big play in the backfield.
Good penetration there by that Raider front. Oh, nope, they're going to give him a touchdown.
Hope nobody has epilepsy.
Yeah, we've got quite the light show going on out here right now.
They're going to set up for the extra point. 5:43 on the clock. This game is going to be tied 7-7. Big region matchup between two big rivals. Jeff Davis able to take advantage of not necessarily a mistake by the Raiders, just a great play by their defender, blocking that punt, putting them in really good field position.
Well, at this point, our offense has to get something going in a positive direction. We've seen our last 2 drives culminate with multiple penalties to end each one of them. I want to say maybe 4 penalties on each drive to end them, stall them out.
Well, what you don't want to do is get in the fourth quarter with the team, again, the style of offense they run, they just lean on you, and it's demoralizing when they get 3, 4, 5, 6 yards. That's all they need, and they get a first down every 2 or 3 plays, and you just get frustrated and you get tired. That's what we don't want to happen. That's why our offense needs to stay on the field for a drive and get some points right here. We need to answer right here, or the tide could really turn for the Raiders here.
Well, also you have to think with the style of offense that both teams run, it's not like you're going to sit here and get 5 more possessions in this ball game, although there's a quarter and a half left. Loopy's going to receive the kick. He's going to get brought down around the 12-yard line, so not going to be great starting field position here for the Raiders.
It'll be 1st and 10 from the 12 for the Raiders. And again, I think this may be it's definitely the biggest possession we've had all game, and it may be the biggest possession we look back at it of the game if we don't take some time off the clock at the very least and flip the field. But we need some points.
Got our Aiden Cawthorn down here to the bottom. Going to say that's Isaiah Thomas up there top side. We've got Kendrick in the backfield next to Knox.
I'd like to
Knox
see this
is looking
pass.
to throw down the middle of the field. Overshoots Aiden there, the intended receiver.
Well, I like the play call. I was hoping he would stretch out there and give it a shot. I guess he thought it was just a little too far out of reach. It's the same, really basically the same play we ran for about the 40-yard gain in the first half. I wouldn't have a problem with us throwing it again here. Maybe just something, maybe a slant or something over the middle again. Or that out I was talking about where it's a one-on-one out here. One-on-one coverage.
And off Kendrick there. He'll try the middle. Minimal gain there again on that play.
It's going to be 3rd down and probably 10. Yeah, he got back to the line of scrimmage. I don't know. Have we thrown a screen all year that you remember?
Knox is looking out here to the left. He's on the move. Throws one down the field. Moopy with a sliding attempt there, but couldn't hang on.
Yeah, would have been a great play. Would have been a 1st down. Knox rolled out of the pocket, looked very confident. Again, ball was thrown a little low, but probably manageable. It's going to bring up another punt for your Red Raiders.
And this is about the same spot we punted from on our last possession.
Somebody's got to put a hat. Oh, boy.
Oh, and that snap roll back there. Isaiah gets it off. Gets a roll. 7 bobbles it. Man.
Why wasn't this roughing down here? I mean, I guess the ball hit the ground, so that takes it away. But he was able to get it away. Thank goodness.
That was just a good heads-up play there by Isaiah to manage to recover that snap. Thought he was going to have to take off and run with it initially, but he got a little space there to be able to get a kickoff.
That was a miracle that it wasn't a touchdown down here for JD. A great effort by the punter. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 40 with 4:27. Heard a bunch of whistles there. I don't know what. Coach Wilson is not happy about something. I think maybe he's talking about maybe what I was questioning, whether or not it would have been some type of roughing down here. But I don't know. Does it matter if the ball hits the ground?
I'm not sure if he's not arguing something about a hit. I know we've got a guy that had to be helped off the field there. Look,
okay,
possibly be dazed. I'm not sure.
Well, I said earlier that was maybe our most important offensive drive of the game. I'm going to throw it on the defense now. This could be our most important defensive stand.
Now, JD has every ounce of momentum in this game. We've got to come up with some type of big play here to kind of get something to swing in our direction. JD loses the pass. Good-looking ball down the sideline.
Oh,
good deflection there by Santiago Bazell.
That was a good ball thrown there by the quarterback. That would have been a completion for a touchdown. But Santiago, our center fielder, made a great play running that ball down, getting his hand up. If he'd had a glove on, I think he'd have caught it.
Good use of those long arms he's got.
Trying to catch us off guard. And really, I mean, I can't imagine them throwing it on 1st down too many times this season. 2nd and 10, 4:22, stops the clock. Good tackle there. Again, you minimize the yards 2 to 3. Big down. You got to think this part of the field, they're going to take 2 more downs to get that. Try to get the first. It's 4-down territory. 3rd and 7, 4:02, 4:01. Under 4 minutes now in the 3rd quarter.
Huge play here upcoming in this ball game.
If they can, minimal gain here might make them think about not. Oh boy, there's a hold.
Chandler Chance's
and he throws it away.
Quarterback.
Really smart play there by the quarterback. He's thrown it out of bounds a couple times, but it should be a hold here. I'll tell you what, 2 pass plays in this possession. I would have thought they would have ran it twice here for a first down. And I'm assuming, if it's 4th and 7, would you decline it here, or you push them back? I can't imagine them going for it 4th and 7 here. You think at this early in the game they would punt. That looks like what's going to happen. They're going to try to punt us deep. A big play there by the Raiders, getting after the quarterback, forcing the hold. Like to see a return here. 7's got some wheels too. Again, you got the quarterback. Got to be careful here. You got to spy this guy. This is the part of the field where he could potentially hurt you. And that's going to go in the end zone. Thank goodness. And that's going to get us a fresh start on the 20. I'm not sure why high school hasn't done like college and start on the 25 yet, but neither here nor there.
Yeah, we need to see some positive plays here from our offense.
Got to get the ball outside the hashes, either to a receiver, throwing it out to a running back. But just as soon as I say, again, they got 8 men in the box. It's just going to be so tough to run between the tackles.
Got one receiver up top.
This is our opportunity. This is our 3rd possession.
Hand off, Kendra. He'll try the middle. He'll lose a couple yards on that play.
We're just getting pushed around right now up front. Again, we got to get the ball somehow outside. 3:06, 3:05 on the clock. Got to get it number 10's hands somehow. You got one-on-one on the corner out here. You just toss it up. Just throw it, 20, 25 yards down the field and let him try and make a play.
Which that'll help us there as we did manage to draw JD offsides.
Let's make it. 2nd and 2.
2nd and
2nd and 7, sorry.
One receiver down here to the bottom. That's Aiden Cothran. 2 backs in the backfield. Travion to Knox's right. Kendrick on the left. Hand off Travion. He'll cut it back up the middle there. He'll get out. Maybe a gain of 5. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 2.
Positive yardage for the Red Raiders. That's something a little different. Getting close to 2 minutes here in the 3rd quarter. And I'd let that clock run way down. 16 on the play clock.
And off Travion. He'll bounce outside, cut it back, now bring it back out. It'll be a first down.
Out of bounds for the Raiders. It's going to be 1st and 10. Hadn't said that in a while.
Just some good footwork there by Travion. Being quick in a tight space.
120.
Receiver up top. Again, 2 backs in the backfield. Knox gets a snap. He's looking to throw.
Oh, he's got him. He's wide open. Ball is – oh, golly.
He just couldn't quite make that Willie Mays catch there.
Yeah, it would have truly been an over-the-shoulder. I'm not sure what the route was. If he'd have kept running to the numbers and hit thrown that shoulder, but he was definitely 10 is open. Man, he gets open. I said earlier we need to try to find a way to get it in his hands. I like that play call on first down. Maybe had just a little too much air on that ball.
Hand off Kendrick. Little off-tackle run there. He gets the edge. It's going to be about a gain of 8.
It's going to be about 9 maybe. Let's see where the spot is. Yep. It's going to be about 2 yards shy, 2.5 yards shy of the first down. It's going to be 3rd and 2 again. Raiders need to get up to the line. Let's run a play and get another first down here. Under a minute to go here in the third quarter. We got to run at least one more play. Play clock's at 22, 34 on the clock.
Snap Knox, hand off Travion. Stutter stepped in the backfield. He strung out right side. Big loss on that play.
It's going to be 4th and about a long 3 or 4 for the Raiders with 23 seconds. 4th. What do you do here? I think you got to punt in this part of the field and try to flip it on Jeff Davis. Clock's still running. It's going to probably run out the quarter here. I don't know. There's a whistle blown. Not sure why. Is that because maybe the clock should have been stopped because of he was out of bounds? Or no, he was tackled inbounds. Yeah, they put 22 seconds back on the clock. That's interesting because I guess they maybe run him out of bounds.
We need a clean operation here on this punt. Isaiah gets it off. More of a low punt there. A little sideways bounce and roll.
It's all right. 14 seconds remaining in the third. Yellow Jackets are going to take over on about the 30-yard line. Raiders got to make another defensive stand here. Sky, we got finally got a weekend with more than 1 or 2 fairly decent ball games for collegiate football tomorrow. Maybe.
And I always say the only one that matters is the one that the Dogs are playing in.
All right, here we go, 14 seconds.
Five goes in motion. He'll get the handoff.
He's going to be tackled in the backfield. I don't think he might have got back to the line of scrimmage.
That's going to run out the clock for the third quarter as we'll head to the Ford tied ball game here, 7-7. The big fourth quarter approaching.
We're going to take a quick break. Honors and sponsors will be back in just a moment.
You ready to meet the latest addition to the family? The money you saved us with auto owners helped make it all possible. It really is the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Excuse me?
Third best thing. Third best thing.
Auto Owners offers discounts for life, home, car, and business insurance because they think the more you protect, the more you should save. That's simple human sense.
football is spotted at the 31-yard line. It's going to be 2nd and 9 for Jeff Davis. Another big series for our defense. Big tackle there by Key Brown, who gets in the backfield, makes a great play. You can always see number 6 with his hair sticking out the back of his helmet.
We needed that one.
It's going to be 3rd and about 10 as the clock ticks.
Yeah, we'll see what Jeff Davis elects to do here. Their quarterback has thrown a good ball on a couple pass plays here tonight. Ten seconds to go on the play clock. Jeff Davis is just now getting to the line. 5 seconds on the play clock. Quarterback gets a snap. He's going to roll right. Jeremiah Williams is there, deliver a hit.
Right in his face. That was a great play by Williams. He made a great play on the last series, offensive series they had as a DB down the sideline, and then he got in the quarterback's face there. Quarterback, again, threw a decent ball.
Yeah, he had to get rid of that one sooner than he wanted to. The receiver did have some separation there.
Another big stand for our defense. We just got to put something together for our offense, get in field goal range. This might be the time where Thomas Kidd has an opportunity for a game winner with 11:03 left on the clock. Still think you got to be real careful with this quarterback.
Short punt with a good bounce, but we'll still start with good field position there on around our own 40.
They're going to mark it exactly on the 39. It'll be 1st and 10 for your Red Raiders. We want to score as quickly as possible or whenever we can, but again, the clock is going to be huge for both of these teams. It seems like every game we played this year, we've had at least one really big play. Where one of our running backs has broken a tackle and took it to the house from 50, 60, 70 yards, and man, that would be something to get right here.
Mookie's in motion, fake the handoff, Knox rolls left, looking down the field. He's got Jason Guest, and he can't haul it in. It goes through his hands. That play, we were able to slip some receivers out there. Jason streaking down the field. Nobody took him.
Well, we was talking off air a few minutes ago about we'd like to see a little more creativity, and there it was. Again, we just wasn't able to execute. I appreciate that play. The last play that number 10 had a chance, they threw it right over their head. You almost want to try to throw it to where it's at an angle, where they're running it's kind of across the field to give them maybe a better opportunity to see the ball. But nonetheless, good play call.
Travion to get that carry left side, nothing doing. Jeff Davis just stacking us up. Good second effort, though. Travion got 2 out of it.
But I will say this, on those long pass plays, that would have been about another 40-yarder. There's nothing wrong with 10, 15, or 20 yards across the middle. Some slants and what have you. Slants is, I always say it, you can't defend a slant that's executed properly.
And off Kendrick, reverse to Moopy. He's stacked up. Going to be a loss of 2 on the play.
It's going to be 4th and about 10, maybe 11. It's going to bring probably a punting situation for the Raiders. Got to try to flip the field once again. Let our defense, again, when you keep both teams, the defense has played well this second half. It's the offense that has sputtered, and this half, because of the defense, I think have played so well. But whoever gets that extra chance needs to get out of the way. It's going to be 1st and 10 from about the 37 for the Yellow Jackets with 8:59 on the clock. And Sky said it, and it's at any level, any team, it's who makes the fewest mistakes. And it's been pretty equal when it comes to mistakes tonight. I know the Raiders haven't had the turnover. Jeff Davis had a couple turnovers early, but those have been nullified with some of the other mistakes that we've had. Block punt led to that touchdown. Again, our defense has kept them in check, all but that short series they had.
Flag on the play.
It's going to be a false start, I believe, unless they're going to call an offsides. It's like he's got his hands on his hips. Oh, boy. Now it's 1st and 5 for the Yellow Jackets with 8:57 on the clock. And it appears they do have a field goal kicker. His range is about 35 to 40 yards, very similar to ours.
Receiver in motion there. Not a clean handoff, but he gets it, slips a tackle. He'll have enough for the first down.
First time tonight we do have a player down on the field. And we're going to take an injury timeout with the referees with 8:47 on the clock, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Eight minutes, 44 seconds to go in the ball game. Tied up 7-7. JD's got a 1st and 10 at their own 47-yard line. Quarterback gets a snap. He's going to take it himself off the left side.
He's big hit there by number 2.
Dietrich Smith.
That was called a decleater by Dietrich Smith.
Dietrich's been a pretty solid player. He's made a decent amount of plays in his career. He's been out there quite often throughout his career. Gets his name called pretty regularly on Friday nights.
Another minute's come off the clock, 7:44. 2nd and 10.
Oh, and they'll get us jump off sides on the play.
again, we've got some linebackers that are coming up in between our guys, and that can sometimes be a distraction. They're running up, kind of faking the blitz or anticipating the snap, that kind of thing. But you just got to be real disciplined. You can't give these guys any yards with this style of offense.
We're gonna wrap them up there. We had pretty good penetration there in the backfield.
Yeah, we timed it up pretty good there. Number 9 got in the backfield, excuse me. Another minute off the clock. Every time I turn around, it's something 40. So a minute less than 47 on the clock, like 6:47 now. It's 3rd and 4. You got to think they're probably in 4-down territory here, trying to get to field goal range. Quarterback, nothing on that other side. We got to tackle him here. He's going to get a first down, but that was a great play by the defender because there was nobody there.
That's a good play call there. They haven't shown that so far in this game.
They run off of the weak side, had a heavy set to the left, to the short side of the field, and the quarterback just rolls out to the wide. They've been saving that one, and we were just fortunate. We had a guy
that was Mike Dixon.
Mike Dixon, and we've called Mike's name a lot this year with interceptions and other big plays. Just a big one-on-one tackle out there. So 1st and 10 at about the 40-yard line. High snap. Unfortunately, we tackled him forward for about 3 yards. $5:29 on the clock. They've taken almost 4 minutes off of this clock, and they've only gone about 30 yards.
Quarterback's going to roll left. He's going to throw one down the field, double coverage.
Oh, great play by the defender. Like to see a interception there. We got 2 defenders. Is that going to be a late? I didn't, unless his right hand. It's not going. No, it's not going to be a pass interference call. It may be on the Raiders, but I don't think it's pass interference. Holding.
Hold on JD.
That was huge. That's going to be huge. 5:03. The clock stops. It's going to make it 2nd and about 18. For the Jackets. Unfortunately, you got to think that one of those pass plays is going to connect before it's over with. Another high snap. Throw to the receiver. Oh, boy.
Oh, wow.
Hats off. I mean, that's just a trick play, really well executed play that, yeah, I mean, you just got to tip your hat to a play like that. Hook and ladder is what you call that.
They pulled that one out from deep in the playbook.
It was close, but it was legal. It was a lateral pass or a pitch, whatever you want to call it. It was just executed perfectly. It's 13-7. Unfortunately, we wasn't able to tackle him before he got to the end zone. Now the Raiders are going to have to pull something out of the hat, tie this thing up. Well, let's see if they get the extra point, and they do. So it's going to be 14-7 with 4:54 left in this ball game. Man, what a play. We're going to take a quick break.
Kick it off to your Raiders here after that big hook and ladder play for the score with under 5 minutes here in this ball game. Going to need an answer in a big way here by your Raiders. That was a haymaker right there. We got to see how we respond. Short kick. It's going to go out of bounds, give us a good start in field position.
Be 1st and 10 on the 35-yard line, I believe, for the Raiders with 4:54. We still haven't proven we can move the ball down the field and score a touchdown. It may take something. We've seen a couple big plays last week with Georgia, or 2 weeks ago with Georgia and Alabama. How one play kind of fed off of another. Maybe we'll see something like that here. I said earlier, it seems like every game that we played, win or lose, we've had a big run by one of our running backs. Maybe we can pull something off. We're going to have to. 4:54, 4-down territory all the way down the field now, you'd have to think.
Quick throw out there, top side to Isaiah. He's going to be right around the 1st down marker.
And you know what? That's been there all night long with one-on-one receivers. But, let's do it all the way down the field.
It's going to be a gain of 9, 2nd and 1.
.420.
Knott's going to take it himself there. Get the 1st down by the gain of 3.
And I'm okay with us running some clock off. If we can, I know we've got to get down the field and score. We do have all 3 timeouts remaining, so do they. I don't want to waste any time. We get injured player. Can't tell. Is it a white jersey?
Yeah, it's one of our Red Raiders.
Well, again, the Raiders are 4-2 on the season. So is Jeff Davis. They have 2 region losses. We have 1. We said earlier, they're in the corner. If we beat Jeff Davis, it just about puts them out of the playoffs. If we win, it gives us a great opportunity to make the playoffs. If we lose, we're still in business. We've got 3 more games to play, albeit Worth County, pretty good football team. Fitzgerald, pretty good football team. And then Brantley, who upset Jeff Davis, but they have struggled most of the year. First and 10 for your Raiders.
Quick throw out here from Knox to Moopy, right off of his hands.
Yep, he was too busy thinking about running down the field. And again, I like the play call. We talked about it already. It's been one-on-one on these outside all game long. One juke, one move, and we have a chance to take it to the house. I throw it again. Throw it out here to number 10.
They're giving us 10 yards of cushion here. Knox is looking to throw it out there. Wow. That's going to be a pick 6. I will say, obviously, there was some sort of miscommunication there on that play as Aiden was running a little further down the field. Knox threw it out there, almost the identical play to Moopy as they tried on the previous play.
Be 21-7 with 3 minutes and 33 seconds on the clock. What do you know? Another flag, but that could be the proverbial nail in the coffin for your Raiders, considering the lack of offense we've been able to generate here in the second half. It's not over until there's 3 zeros on the board. We're going to have at least one more opportunity to move the ball. But as you said there on that last play, and I just got out of my mouth, let's try to get it to number 10. But that was just a great read, great play there by their I don't know if that was a linebacker or a defensive back that was playing up. It was more of a line drive throw. But number 10 was never going to catch that pass. It was going to be behind him. A little bit of confusion there. So the Raiders got to regroup and, believe in miracles. Crowd's really into it now, and naturally. I want to thank our sponsors once again, Bennett & Johnson Insurance, Mr. Daniel Johnson, Larry Taylor and Burt CPAs, Doctors Hutto and Day, Family Vision Care, Miss Lisa Coley at Coley Electric and Plumbing Supply. And I guess there was a flag against your Red Raiders because of where they're kicking off from. And that'll be in the end zone, and the Raiders will take over on the 20-yard line. Not going to be able to run the ball as many times this time for sure. Now, we were throwing it earlier, but we're going to have to throw it a couple times here as well.
Up to Knox. Just takes a hard hit right there.
Fumble on the play. And this is going to be a huge, this game is going to look a lot different. A lot different in the when they post this score than this game really was, unfortunately. Especially if we can't hold them out of the end zone here. .325 on the clock, 21-7.
Got a whole lot of something there on that play.
Yeah, we're going to have to look at calling a timeout or here sooner than later. Probably one more stop here. And then we'll probably get a timeout. Letting that play clock 6-5, snap it, quarterback's got it.
Big Mason Johnson there in the backfield with a tackle around the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they're not real interested in putting it in the end zone. If they can get it in there, they will, but they're more interested in taking care of the football and running as much time off the clock as possible. It's going to be third down. I guess we're going to save our timeouts. 2:06. And it'll go down to 140 before they snap it again. I don't know. I think I probably would have used some timeouts on this particular drive.
Again, big play in the backfield. That's Theron Moore eating that up.
And we do call timeout here. We'll take a timeout as well, collect our thoughts as we try to wrap up this game one way or the other here on the NFHS Network, powered by Play On Sports.
You ready to meet the latest addition to the family? The money you saved us with auto owners helped make it all possible. It really is the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Excuse me?
Third best thing. Third best thing.
Auto Owners offers discounts for life, home, car, and business insurance because they think the more you protect, the more you should save. That's simple human sense.
Jeff Davis is going to attempt the field goal here. Minute 35 left in the game. 4th and 10 from the 20. Kick is up and good.
24-7 with 1:28. The Raiders are going to get the ball back at least one more time.
You've had the floodgates open here in the last few minutes.
Yeah, I know we've made a couple mistakes late. Again, the score is going to look a little worse, most likely, and how this thing's probably going to end, just being realistic. Although, again, it's not over until it's over. Again, part of the football game, part of the game. Turnovers is what caused those things to happen. And just lack of some offensive execution here in the second half. We had 4 possessions in the third quarter alone, unable to capitalize on a couple big plays. We pulled a couple, ran a couple plays that we hadn't seen this season, and unable to execute. Here's a return opportunity.
It'll be a big return, and ball just flat out came out of his hand, but Keandre picks it up.
And we're going to take it to the house. So here's part 1 of the miracle. Any flags on the field? Don't see any. Touchdown, Red Raiders. Wow. He's pointing at something. Coaches were pointing at something.
That ball just slipped right out of Moopy's hands. It almost looked like a lateral.
They got a point here. It was it was a forward fumble. I'm not sure if you can. I hear the offensive coordinator over here in my left ear. He said, argue with the umpire about it being a forward fumble, that you cannot advance a forward fumble, and I know that's true. It was close. It was definitely close as to where it was, but we're fixing to kick an extra point for a touchdown, after a touchdown. And we get it through. It's going to be 14-24. Your Raiders trail by 10, 113. We're going to get to see the most exciting play in football, the onside kick, when we return. Be back in just a moment.
All right. Bacon County's going to attempt to recover an onside kick here. Jeff Davis grabs it and falls down.
Yeah, you typically want a big hop at some point, maybe the second hop, the ball to shoot up in the air, but it did not. It was more of a line drive and right into the cradle of, I'm sure he was a hands player. We do have 2 timeouts, but I'm not sure if that's enough. With a 25-second clock, it may not be enough to keep the clock from running out. Down by 10. I told Sky off air a moment ago I'd be a little bit more excited if they had not kicked that field goal and stretched it to 10. It's just going to be real tough. And they're going to go ahead and get in that victory formation. Timeout, Red Raiders. We will have 1 remaining. Well, unless, again, something crazy happens here, real crazy, we're going to go 4-3 on the season. We have 3 games remaining. Next week we'll be hosting Worth County. As far as I know, I can't remember. My stat guy, he sent me a text with some stuff. I don't think we've ever played Worth before. If we have, it's been in the 50s or 60s. So that'll be something new for us. They have a spread offense, sophomore quarterback that can really throw it around. And then we're going to go to Fitzgerald. So we're going to have to beat one of those two teams if we're going to have a chance to get in the playoffs now. And then obviously when you got to take care of business, senior night, last game of the season with Brantley. And we're going to call our last time out with 1:05. Of course, they got their down and distance wrong up there. It should be 3rd and about 15 now. 3rd and about 18. But we can't stop it anymore. They're going to run a play here. They'll snap it, and 40 seconds is coming off the clock. That'll put us down to about 25. Well, about 30 seconds on the clock after this timeout. But that's where it stands right now, and Jeff Davis still will control their destiny. They're in pretty good shape. But we're going to have to win 2 out of our last 3 to have a chance to get in the playoffs. I know there's some power rankings and that sort of thing. The fact that we played Clinch County, we'll get a few points there, but I just don't know if it'll be enough to get us an at-large bid outside of being in the top 4 in our region.
I know we've heard Crazy Train on repeat here about 5 times in a row. So, Brent, we're under a minute here in this game. To wrap this up, I think you point to the penalties, just a couple turnovers, and at the end of the day, it came down to we made more mistakes than they did, especially in the second half. The second half, they, being Jeff Davis, they somewhat, pulled it together, cleaned it up a little bit, and we kind of we didn't quite reel it in to our standard. We didn't execute like we wanted to. And, this is a big game, and we didn't make enough of those big plays to win the game. I mean, got to give credit to JD's defense a lot. They bottled us up for the most part. We had that one big pass play we connected on. A couple runs that got out, maybe 8 or so yards. But other than that, we were kind of under wraps, had a few drops in the game. Just, again, too many mistakes to overcome for us tonight.
Yeah, 48 seconds, 30, at least we'll have about 15 or 20 seconds if they, in fact, punt it. He could run around for a little bit out there and punt it and just have a few seconds left. But we're going to wrap things up pretty quickly here so we can get out of Dodge back to Almatown. But again, I want to thank all our sponsors for being a part of these broadcasts, home and away. Look forward to coming back home next week, hosting Worth County. We're on fall break Monday and Tuesday. I want to recognize our young ladies of the softball team. They have clinched their 3rd in a row region championship. They did that the last 2 regions that our previous region where we only had a 4-team region, and then they just clinched yesterday this new region, which includes some pretty stout softball teams, including Jeff Davis. And we'll be headed into the playoffs next week. I believe it starts next week. One of the top 4 or 5 seeds in the state, so that should give us two home series. They're doing it a little different this year. Instead of hosting 2 teams, you're going to, teams are going to have to travel before you get to Columbus. 2 different weeks. So a little bit different format this year, but the Raiders are setting pretty good, in good position to return to Columbus for a chance at competing for a state championship. I want to thank all of you that will be maybe watching this game a little bit later, all of you first responders, those that have been helping, and it's all the linemen and family members that have been sacrificing to help get power back on and move trees and that sort of thing, and other people in the community from our churches to our civic groups that have been distributing food and other valuable, vital materials to our local communities, not only in Bacon County but here in Jeff Davis. I want to continue to think about and pray for these folks in this area here in Jeff Davis and Coffee County, who are actually a little bit worse shape than even us, especially when it comes to power issues. They're not returning to school until next Wednesday. I don't think Coffee County and Ware County is returning to school the 21st because of transportation issues with buses and power issues as well. Just a lot going on from South Florida to up through North Carolina. And the ball will be punted probably this time.
A good high kick. Mike Dixon's going to let it bounce. It'll hop out of bounds there with 10 seconds left on the clock.
Raiders will get one more play. I don't know if we try to heave one down the field. I don't think you kneel on it here. You run a play. See what happens. But Jeff Davis is going to come away with a big home victory. And Sky said it at the beginning, before the game started, team that makes fewest mistakes. And it was close. They made a lot of mistakes as well, but ultimately that's what it came down to. A couple turnovers there at the end of the game that really turned the tables on the Raiders. Just couldn't get anything going on offense down the field. And neither team really put a drive together to score other than a big play by Jeff Davis. And we're going to hand it off here. Going to run it outside, break it back in.
Big hit there on number 15. He fumbles on the play. There's a scramble for the ball down there. Somebody's trying to fall on it.
Clock runs out. That's going to end it. Maybe we get some coaches over here. I think everybody's good. We're going to line it up and shake hands. And folks, we're going to, again, be a little shorter tonight than usual, but we thank you for joining us here on the NFHS. We're not quite the outcome we'd hoped for, but after the 2 weeks that all of these communities have gone through, we're just glad to be able to tee it up under the lights again on a Friday night, again, to bring back a little bit of normalcy for both communities and as we continue to move forward. But on behalf of myself, Sky, you got anything else you want to say? You good, Bo?
Yeah, I think that pretty much wraps it up. We'll try it again next week.
All right, we'll look forward to having you come show up at the Big Red Stadium at Bacon County High School with Support Your Red Raiders versus another big region game. It's going to be Worth County coming in. So, again, on behalf of myself, Brent Johnson, Sky Keck, Katie Cawthorn, and Ricky Chee on the camera, wish you a good night.